Father for giving me this opportunity to stand before you. And I also like to mention, Madam has put me under tremendous pressure now. Because for last several years, when I have not seen my biodata, where I got educated, what I have achieved, what I have not achieved, I only come and talk and then enjoy with all of you. I will also tell you a little back before I start my talk. The first visit to Christ was in 1988 and 1998 when it was incepted, and after that I have been to Rajkot quite often. It has become a kind of a working place for me where a lot of things we have done. The topic which has already been mentioned to you, and I ask myself a question, and I am asking to all of you here, what have been told to you and what have you heard yesterday, what are you going to hear in next couple of days, what is the purpose of having this workshop, that is the Inspire program. This we must know that. As if you read it, what it abbreviates, ultimately here, many of us have come here, and we will see that we'll be talking in next 4 or 5 days to give you a kind of to insight in all of you that you should choose your career in research. That's what it called at the end of it, Inspired Research. Now, the research, it could be in engineering, it could be in medicine, it could be in pure science. We do not want to have any boundary that in which area you should opt your career as a researcher. But the interest is there that, and also, I mean, I do not have time, but probably if you go on the web page of the DST, you will find some information that what has been the rationale and the thinking behind to start the Inspire program in this country. There is a very genuine reason, a very logical purpose that why we should have Inspire program in this country. Because for last several, before I come to my talk, I would like to speak on this. For last several years, by sitting in those kind of gathering, people who are much more knowledgeable, bothering for the growth of the country, they realize that the best potential of our country after 10+2, they go to the engineering, they go to the medicine. As I said that research in engineering and medicine, there is no boundary, but then they become, I beg for a pardon, but this is what of my senior has used a word, so I can use it here. Many times, the best potential, they opt for engineering and medicine, but then they end up of doing the job which they themselves don't enjoy it. This we all have experience from our own children in the home, or from the surrounding, or by sitting in the gathering where we have seen such thing has been happening. And then on the other hand, there has been a constant drift of the best people coming in the research. So research also started suffering. On one hand, the human values, enjoyment of the young colleagues, the best mind also started suffering on the other hand, because they don't enjoy to that extent what they should have enjoyed by coming to the science. So at that point of time, something was decided that this country should have such program where we should be giving, talking to you, only pleasing you or making you a fact to realize that there is too much in the science, enjoyment, growth, satisfaction that you need to know before you choose your career. That's how we started. Now, you would also see for next 3-4 days that many of us have come here to convey you in the different manner how should you go to the science, to convince you, to tell you a lot of excitement. And I do not want to say here that I am a model. Anything which I am going to tell you, you will have to blindly accept it. But what I thought of today, that I will get information to you on two aspects. Number one, some of the known stories which you will appreciate, how much science can give and how science has contributed, how much satisfaction, enjoyment is there, and some of the work which we also do at our institute, and then how much we enjoy it, I am also going to share with you. So if I move to the next one, so with this one, I have got two type of presentation I am going to make here. Number one, some of the inspiring story or questions which others have addressed, have collected, and some of our core research activities. I'll move it. Now, I will start with this slide. Oh, okay, okay. So my stomach wires is coming here. Right. So look at here. Now, this is personally how I have brought it, the definition of research. You start from here, you need to have an observation. You should be able to reason it. You should have a good reasoning for that. Question on that. Go to the hypothesis. You should be able to hypothesize that what exactly you want to prove it. Execute it. Experiment it. Analyze it. Discuss it and conclude it. And then you go back. The entire process keeps on recycling for through of your life. This is what a scientist does, and that's what leads to the research. Now, how will you do that? So another thing, as I mentioned in the beginning, that research has no boundaries. I have already said engineering, medicine, and science. I want to go a step beyond. The morning toothpaste which you use was not discovered in India. It was discovered, identified somewhere across the sea, and we are using every day in the morning. So that, to convey that research as such has no boundaries. When one wants to do research, we are requesting you here that you should be the scientist in our country, but be scientist anyway. Now, what all that you need, can we go to the next one? What I believe personally, that if you can hear me, I can talk like this. Alright, so what I believe basically, what you need to have for doing all these things which I have talked about in 8 things which going to recycle, you need to have this much knowledge and its sharing. Before I really come to the story which I am going to tell you and my research, I thought of conveying these informations to you. Knowledge and its sharing, not only in biology, chemistry, physics, computer and engineering, but also in all these subjects. Now imagine it. See, my topic is here that interdisciplinary approach. So I thought of touching on this, that the modern science, not only today's science, rather even in past also, you will see some of the examples which I have got it here. You need to know biology, chemistry, physics, electronics and computer engineering, everything for doing a very good research to your satisfaction. Tell me, can one person acquire all the knowledge? If one wants to become a good scientist, do a good research, or if you want a research to progress, let me put in that way, you need to have all these information at some point of time to be integrated. And then only you can make a headway, you can make a novel finding, subsequently someone others will talk about. But can one person acquire all these things? To me it looks that you can have 1, 2, 3, but not all the requirements which you need for doing a good research. So in all these subjects, it's impossible by anyone of us to get the knowledge. Then what you need is, if we have the next one, then what you need to do that? If not all, I am sure a science graduate can have biology, chemistry and physics, for sure. And for getting good information, you should be able to learn. Learning has, grasping probably has an age. Learning goes whole life. I'll come and elaborate it on this point subsequently. It might be looking little odd. One may not say that whole life we keep on grasping and learning, but what I mean for that there is a age, there is a time where you will be able to grasp much better than the time like us. And then sharing. If you cannot learn everything here, you need to share it. That's what I mean. If you find your colleague who is very good in computer, very good in electronics across anywhere in institutions, in college you have it, you should be able to share the information. And the most important thing, contradicting. If you are only yes, 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 you will not be able to make a headway in research. You will become a template researcher. I am sure I am conveying, though you are very young people, some of these words may be looking little hi-fi, but I am sure these are literal meanings. You will accept. If you are only yes, man or woman, you will not be able to make an impact in the research. You will become a template researcher. Someone will say, you simply listen it and you will work on that. But if you want to make a significant contribution in research, for which we will be praising you, rather we will be preparing you, then you should be able to contradict when someone talking about and telling you, but in the most logical manner. You should be able to challenge the paradigm. I am sure you know paradigm. If someone talks about this is only stereotyping, this is the only theory which has been set, you can't say simply, no, you are absolutely wrong, without any basis, without any logic. But if you have ability to challenge the paradigm, set years in the research, the logic, this is called logical shift of the paradigm, you will be able to contribute very well in the research. So, there can be 100 such things which someone will talk about and you will appreciate. These are the points which I thought in the brief time I should bring it up. Can we go to the next one? So, and I want to quote why I said that there is a learning grasping. Albert Einstein has said, I have just given a quote in the bottom, common senses are collection of prejudices which one acquires at the age of 18. That's the age now to you. What I want to say, we all grasp, which all learn, but then many things which you learn the age of 18 according to Einstein, now we can go to 27 in the modern era, is something which is punched in your mind and will get carried on the long way. Can we move to the next one? Now I have started actual thing, the stories which I wanted to talk about. Hereditary material. I am sure this thing should be known to many of you, or all of you, when you are physics, chemistry or biology. The question on this particular aspect has been existing from the common perception which you have in the surrounding.